Well, I've had about enough of Morgan, and so has the Union, because we got him! Spoiler! Is no more Morgan. He's been captured. Best news yet. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me as always is Prospector Johnny. Raise that cup, Johnny. Keep it up, because Morgan is done for. He is incarcerated by the end of this week. But I was jumping ahead a little bit, but I thought I had good news this time. Last week it was Raise Cup and I was just toasting you, but this week something good happens.
That's excellent.
It's great.
I learned that being part of a Freemason, they expect you to pay dues, and so I was prospecting and finding nothing but rocks in Indiana. But so now I can stop that because I'm just gonna not join the Freemasons because Morgan's done.
Morgan's done.
I don't
Yep.
have to be scared no more.
But we'll get there, Johnny. The week's going to open up on the 24th with Meade focusing his troops on Warrenton, while Longstreet gets his corps to Front Royal. So gets in front of Meade there. Gets that we tried. He tried. You tried to go through the blue, that gap, and it didn't. He got there, but a bit too late, and then Longstreet won, and here we are. So the Confederate army is not destroyed like it probably should have been.
Of course. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you wait a week to move.
That exactly. Yeah. There we are. Lee's going to write to Davis that he is intending on moving his troops into the Blue Ridge Mountain area, but Meade crossed the Potomac faster than he anticipated, and now he has to focus on just reorganizing his army. So I don't blame Lee for thinking that he had plenty of time, because like the past week showed that he had plenty of time.
Entire war.
But yeah, Meade moved a little bit faster than expected. Meanwhile, Morgan, Johnny, he's going to be engaging himself in some skirmishes with Union troops at Athens in Washington, Ohio. Narrowly.
Union troops, not just civilians?
Yeah, he's actually fighting Union troops now. Yeah, so that's the funny thing is he started this whole raid with about 4,000 men, and I think it's 6 to 8 cannons, and all he was doing was fighting civilians. And by fighting civilians, I mean he went to several towns and fucking murdered children.
Not great.
Like, these are
Little
civilians.
ashamed to be a Freemason now.
And killed them. So, anyways, he's going to narrowly avoid escape, losing more of his men, though. On the 25th, again, he's going to skirmish with Union troops at the North Springfield, Ohio line area. And again, narrowly avoiding capture on the 25th. But fret not, Johnny, because on the 26th, on the 26th of July, we got him with just 364 men left of his original almost 4,000. He will be surrounded at Salemville, Ohio, and he will surrender to U.S. forces there. They're going to send him to the Ohio State Penitentiary in Columbus for being a fucking jackass, and probably should go ahead and hang him, because again, he murdered fucking children.
Why? I'm wondering why he just, right there, you just find a tree, right? That's what they like to do?
I don't know why we're giving somebody due process who murdered children and seceded from this country, so is no longer a citizen of this country, so is no longer entitled to due fucking process.
Just a terrorist.
Yep, that's all he is. And let's speak of his raid, Johnny. It's generally considered a waste of precious resources by the Confederates. It wasn't sanctioned by the Confederates, or at least Bragg said he didn't sanction it. There might be some questions whether he did or didn't. But anyways, for most people believe that Morgan just did this on his own. He is going to lose 4,000 troops. More importantly, 4,000 fucking horses that they can't, get back.
That's a lot of horses to lose.
6 cannons, 6 to 8 cannons. I can't remember if it was 6 or if it was 8. It doesn't really matter.
A
battery of cannons. He loses a battery and a half of cannons. So, way to go for being a murderer, because you got the Confederates no supplies, none made it down there.
Well, he got his men that then died. Riches.
You did not distract the Union Army in any significant degree to stop anything from happening.
You chased them for a couple of days.
Jackson's in the hands of the Union now. You didn't stop.
That's unfortunate.
Sherman from getting Jackson. So
that was a failure.
Vicksburg's gone, but Vicksburg was already gone before he started his raid, so that doesn't really.
He didn't
but still, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing.
No,
you just killed a bunch of people for the sake of killing a bunch of people.
He murdered innocent people and left a trail of terror. And I can tell you, the town of Versailles will not forget him.
They will not forget him. Also, Johnny, on the 26th, Sam Houston and John Crittenden are going to die of oldness. Sam Houston, prominent. I'm going to use this term, probably make people mad. He was a prominent pro-union in the South. He was in Texas. He did not want secession.
Okay.
He thought the secession was stupid. Once they did secede, he goes, well, it's too late now. But, like, it was not, like, the Confederate, like, gay raw guy. And then Crittenden, he was a Kentucky dude who's like, let's try to not go to war by letting slavery be legal in the Constitution. And that didn't.
Oh, yeah.
That dude, the Crittenden Compromise, the fucking stupid bullshit. Like, that was just dumb. So those two guys are going to die. On the 27th, nothing happens. Like, it's like nothing.
Oh, damn.
Union troops go for a walk in Kansas.
Probably too hot.
It's way too hot for this shit. Yeah. Johnny, there's going to be some skirmishing that's going to resume on the 28th in Missouri at Marshall and High Grove. But by that, I mean bored soldiers taking pot shots at each other because, like, nothing happens there. Right?
Nothing.
Just like, boop, boop, boop. 4 Union gunboats are going to shell New Smyrna, Florida. I don't know how to... SMYRNA, like Florida, what the fuck are you doing with your name? Smyrna? Anyways, they're going to land some troops there. They're going to burn down a few buildings and then get back on their boats and go, suck it, dirty rebels.
All right.
We can do the land pirating thing, too.
I think they might have just been bored.
That
Trade
seems
seems unnecessary, but...
It was a lot of things in this war have become very much unnecessary. Trader President Davis is going to write to Lee and inform him that he will send some... I'm not making this up. He's going to send some convalescents and absentees to replenish his ranks. So literally the Confederates are relying on sick and AWOL soldiers to fight this war.
Huh. What are they...
Because one thing I don't think I've pointed out well enough...
What are those AWOL soldiers going to do?
One thing I don't think I pointed out...
Are like former deserters?
These are deserters that they get caught and they're now sending them back in the front line. The amount of deserters in the Confederate Army is substantial.
Tell me you'd want to fight this losing battle.
And especially after Vicksburg and Gettysburg, quite a significant people are going, I'm done. I got, you know what?
As soon as you lose the Mississippi, that's enough for me.
I'm going to go home.
I don't want to die in your
Miss my wife.
little war.
Yeah. So they're definitely...
Also, they're realizing they're not fighting for anything but a bunch of rich folk. That's why we're fighting this war. Because
surprisingly, right now, all the calls that Trader President Davis has had to transition cash crops to food crops, because literally their army is starving and literally their people are starving. You know what those plantation owners are still doing? Still planting that cotton.
Oh, that's sweet
and
cotton.
The tobaccies. So.
Yeah. That's the good stuff.
Which they can't sell to anybody because they can't get it through the blockade, or at least not significant volumes of it through the blockade.
Yeah,
so
you keep making it, and you got your smokes, you got your clothes. Well, you got your raw clothing material.
There are a lot of manufacturing of goods
New York,
going on there. So,
well, stuff it in your clothes and
make some pillows.
Make a pillow.
Cotton in the pillows, yep. On the 29th, Johnny, Union troops are going to occupy Bridgeport, Alabama, while the Queen of England is going to say England again will strictly maintain neutral in this fight.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do with us.
Once again, dashing any of the Confederates' hope of foreign intervention. They're saying, nope, we're done. We don't want, this is not.
England, at this point, they're kind of tired. They're of us, of our shenanigans, of fighting wars. They're broke.
The thing is... England and France, who really wanted the free Southern cotton or cheap Southern cotton, have learned that
who doesn't?
They can also get that cotton in Africa.
Wait,
where the slaves
they learned how to grow.
Wait, and they've got colonies in Africa, and they just started growing the cotton there. Turns out, Africa,
they can't.
Hot and dry, a lot like the South is. So, cotton works in Africa too. So they don't really need.
That's not great for. This fake country.
That's Southern cotton as much as they thought they once did. Lincoln is going to write to General Halleck saying that he will not order Meade to engage Lee immediately, as he does not want to pressure Meade into a fight. He goes, listen, try to pressure other generals into a fight. Never worked out well, so maybe I'm just going to sit back and let Meade do his thing. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, Trying opposites, you know.
Trying opposites. And Johnny, this week's going to end on the 30th with Lincoln giving a public warning to the South, and I quote here, "The U.S. will give the same protection to all of its soldiers, and if the enemy shall sell or enslave anyone because of his color, the offense shall be punished by retaliation upon the enemy's prisoners in our possession." So I'm not sure what he means by this.
What?
So first, I got 3 points. First point. What if they sell white soldiers into slavery? Is that okay?
That's fine.
Because he did
Yes,
say of the color, so maybe if
Yeah, no, that's
maybe that's okay
yeah.
for the South to do.
Yes.
And then if they do
Acceptable.
sell soldiers back into slavery based on the color of the skin, that we're going to retaliate. So what does that mean? Does that mean that
Cut
we're
off
going to take
toes.
Southern prisoners and sell them into slavery
Chop
in the
toe.
North?
Nope, chopping toes.
Does that mean we're going to chop some toes off? Does that mean we're going to hang some prisoners?
Nope.
I don't know. And I guess we'll have to wait till
Well-
next week to find out because he just issues this proclamation today. So at the end of the week, so we'll see if Lincoln goes on a killing spree next week. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun things, like presidents, like how we had a president who didn't wear a jacket and died of a cold, and was replaced by a racist slave owner who liked to have children with his own slaves.